Hey Scrappy Peeps, Suzanna here today to share with you how to create this word pocket. The word is Noel, and I used a digital cut file that I created myself, and I've been doing a lot of that lately. And so I cut out the N, E, and the L out of a blue paper, and then I used the same gold that I used in the title page a video back as the wreath. And that served as the O. And what I wanted to do was I wanted to turn the O or the wreath into a shaker pocket. So once again, I have my fuse, and you can see that to the left of my mat there. And that is heating up so that I can use a template to create a pocket for the Shabby Chic Christmas collection or mix from SpiegelMom Scraps to fill that little space there. So I am using my Prima glue pen, as I always do, to adhere these letters down to the 6x8 Simple Stories. It's a 2 4x6 pocket for my December daily. This is a fun way to add just something a little different to your December daily. And so these don't run straight across. The letters are of different sizes and of different font types, and so it just adds a little something fun to your December daily. You could put the number of the day you were working on in the middle of the wreath if you wanted to as well. And so I found a hole punch that is the same size as the wreath, which was a 2-inch circle. And so I removed the circle, leaving me the outline that I could then trace with my fuse. So I have the fuse mat. You can use a glass mat, and I'm just very slowly running the fuse tool along the edge of that circle there. And you've heard me say that I prefer to push the fuse tool. I don't like to pull it. It's a little harder to do when you've got a circle. So I went all the way around the circle except for this little teeny tiny opening. And so in a minute, I am going to get a piece of scrap paper and tear it, you can see there, and just turn it into a little funnel that I can then get the sequins into. This sequins is just the right color match for what I'm doing. I could have taped it. I probably should have taped it, but I didn't because I was being lazy. And I was hoping that it would stay in there, but you can see I let go too soon. It would have stayed in there just fine. But this particular sequence has lots of little teeny tiny bits in it. And so I needed to make sure that I was getting all the teeny tiny bits into that circle pocket that I was trying to create. So I'm just going to put a little bit of that in there. There we go. And kind of shake that in there. Unfortunately, because I didn't tape it and I was trying to keep the cone together, I pulled it away a little bit too early. I also put a lot more sequins in there than I actually had originally intended to, but it was fine because it fills the pocket up really nicely, actually, once the pocket is sealed. And you can see I did shake out just a little bit of what was too much. And then I'm going to set that aside, my little makeshift funnel, and take my template back so that I can close off that hole so that the sequin stays confined to that space there. And so now I have a nicely closed O, but I want to hide where I have fused that. Not that it's ugly, but my intent was for the O to actually be of that wreath. So you can see the shaker there. And then I'm going to put this on. So my Prima glue pen would be fine to adhere that, but the problem is that then I wouldn't have the movement that just putting a fine line down creates. So I am going to just use my Scotch tacky glue and go around where the fuse was, and I fused that pocket and then attach the wreath to it. Now you can see I have a second wreath there. My original intent had been to layer it, but when you layered it, it actually provided too much depth, and it took away from the subtlety. The weight and the balance of the letters didn't match with the letters there as I had them, so I had to continue. And so the one that I originally laid down first, I had pulled apart a little bit in getting it off the mat. So you can see there with the second one, the weight is just way too balanced. So I stuck them back down, and I wanted a little something, a little added decoration. So I will push that down just with a scrap piece of paper in case any of the adhesive comes up, and then I'm going to get some red and white twine and just tie a subtle little bow there, and that will finish that off. So again, the Shabby Chic Christmas collection from SpiegelMom Scraps, which you'll see coming up in the close-ups, is what I used to fill this, my fuse and some letters just with a digital cut file that I created. So enjoy the close-ups. I hope you've enjoyed I hope you have enjoyed this December daily series that I have been working on with the fuse and sequins. If there's anything in particular you want to see, please definitely put it in the comments down below, and I will continue to share my December daily as I work on it. Thanks for stopping in today. Take care.